we're gonna tell another 3-part story today, but today we're gonna make it into a little book when we're drawing the picture and adding our writing. So I just have a blank piece of paper today so that I can make a book. But first, I need to tell my 3-part story out loud. Now, if you're having trouble coming up with a story about you can tell a story about anything, right? You can tell a story about having breakfast. You can tell a story about a fun thing you did with mom or dad or grandma and grandpa. But sometimes it helps to think of something that was scary or sad or made you laugh really, really hard, because those are stories that you remember really well, and you can tell lots of details, and you can draw a good picture for. So I'm going to tell a story about a time when I got hurt that I remember. So let's see. One day I was at the beach with my family, and I was swimming in the ocean, and I got stung by a jellyfish, and it hurt really, really bad. And I cried and cried and cried, and I got out. My dad brought me out of the water, and they put lotion on where the jellyfish had stung me, and it stopped stinging pretty quickly. And then I was all better, but I was then too scared to go back into the ocean, so I spent the rest of the trip on the sand. Okay, so I think we can write that into a story. First, I'm going to make my book, so I'm just going to take my picture and fold my paper and fold it in half this way. And now I have a little book. I'm going to put a cover on here. So I'm going to draw a picture of a jellyfish, because that's what this story is about. So that's going to be the cover of my book. It's just going to be a jellyfish, so that I know when I go to pick this book up that in this story I get stung by a jellyfish. And I can add a title if I want to. What should the title of my story be? Let's see. L-E jelly fish. Sh. That sh sound is an SH. Fish. Jellyfish. Maybe sting? Sting. And then I'm going to put, because I'm the author of this story, I'm going to put my name, Miss Bache-Wiig. Okay, and now I can do the rest of my book. So I'm going to open it up to the inside, and I'm going to put the beginning of my story here, the middle of my story here, and the end of my story on the back. So let me do the pictures first. So in the first part of my story, I'm at the beach, right, with my family. So I'm going to quickly draw that. I'm going to leave a space. Might help to draw it for yourself. I'm going to leave a space down here for my words to go, right? I don't want my picture to go all the way into my words. So then I'm going to draw the beach with some waves. And I need some sand. And then I'm there with my family, so I can draw my family. Okay, I can go back in and add more detail and label it later. Then what happens next in my story? Oh, I'm swimming in the ocean and I get stung by a jellyfish, right? So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to draw the ocean. And I'm swimming, so I'm going to draw me in the ocean. And then I'm going to draw the jellyfish. Now, I didn't see it, that's why it stung me, but boop. Okay. Awesome. Then the end of my story, what happens? I get stung by the jellyfish and I cry and cry and cry and cry. And then for the rest of the trip, right, I spend the rest of the trip to the beach playing on the sand because I'm too scared to go back into the water. So I'm going to draw myself maybe making a sand castle away from the water because I was too scared to go back in it. Let's see. And then I have to draw me. Okay, now I can add words to my story, right? So I'm going to write a sentence for each of my pictures. So let's see, what's happening here? We are at the beach. Do you think I can write that? I think so. So I'm going to start my sentence with a capital letter. We. Then I'm leaving a space. Are. Then I'm leaving a space. At. That's one of our red sight words, right? We are at space. The. TH makes that th sound. And then We are at the space beach. B-E-Ch. So C-H. Then I'm going to put a period. And then my second, there's my first sentence, right? We are at the beach. Then in my second picture, I'm getting stung by a jellyfish, right? So I'm going to write I space got t space stung st stung by I. Sounds like Mr. I got stung by space a space jellyfish. J E O E I sh period. And then on the back of my story, that's me making a sandcastle, right? So I can write that. I made space a d. I made space a sandcastle. And castle. There. So now I have a book of my story of the jellyfish sting, right? It says, we are at the beach. I got stung by a jellyfish. I made a sandcastle. Now I can go back and add more detail to my picture and label it if I have time. Send me a picture of your 3-part story when you're done. Good luck!